I am Nkiru Obuli. The police in Adamawa have arrested a 19-year-old teenage bride who allegedly stabbed her husband to death over the husband's refusal to grant her request for separation. The forced marriage was said to have been consummated by her parents 3 weeks ago. The late husband, Mohammed Adamu, was 35 years old. Police said an investigation revealed that the 19-year-old lady was forcefully married to the deceased by her parents against her will. The Adamawa State Police Command spokesman Suleiman Nkoroje disclosed this in Yola while confirming the arrest of the 19-year-old this Wednesday. He said the state's commissioner of police Aliyu Alhaji has ordered a clinical investigation into the case. He said the suspect was arrested in Sheleng local government area of the state where the incident occurred following a report received from one Jofas Johnsley, a friend of the deceased. Now, traditionally in Nigeria, paternity of a child is commonly determined by acknowledgement, presumption, or by proof. The most common mode of paternity is by acknowledgement. Once a man admits he is the father of a child, the case is closed. A man is presumed to be the father of a child once the child is born within wedlock. It is often said that a woman is in the better position to identify the father of her child, so once a woman identifies a particular man, a case closed. However, developments show that proving paternity is often not as straightforward or as easy as people may think, as rampant cases of denials, disputes, and counterclaims of paternity have been making the rounds. Clearview TV's Chidima Okafo has more on this all-important family matter.
DNA paternity tests are unraveling a lot of buried family secrets. Keeping family secrets isn't as easy as it used to be in past time. Now, just one DNA test could change everything for better or for worse. Many children are experiencing paternity scandals by learning that the men they have always loved and cherished are really not their biological fathers. The perception that paternity fraud is high in Nigeria is not unfounded. Available statistics show that Nigeria has the second highest rate of paternity fraud in the world after Jamaica. Many men have been unknowingly raising children that are not theirs, and to curb the trend, there have been calls for introduction of mandatory DNA testing at birth. For people's reactions, please come with me to the streets of Abuja.
Let's say you have been living with a boy or a girl for 12, 13, 14 years, and you are used to yourself. It's daddy, my daughter, my son. And you just discover that, stupidly discover that he's not yours or he's not yours. I don't believe in DNA, and I cannot do it.
We have many examples, but now we are talking of introducing DNA into many homes now. We are going to have many broken homes in which it will not be suitable for us as a nation.
I don't think it's necessary as long as both couples, unless if they don't trust themselves. But if they trust themselves, there's no other husband and wife can live in a house or in a home. You understand? And then after birth, they now find it important or necessary to do DNA test, unless it can only be necessary if they do not trust themselves.
It should be optional. Why I said so, because it depends on the couple. Where there's no trust between the couple, that's where you should do such a DNA test. But if there's trust between the both of them and they are faithful to each other, I don't think there's any need for that, so it should be optional.
Because you running the DNA test, you're going to put yourself into more trouble. Because by the time you come to know, come on, started thinking, but just have your mind in one side. If it's not, life goes on.
According to research, about 3 out of 10 men that undergo paternity tests are not biological fathers of their children. Deoxyribonucleic acid, also known as DNA, is the genetic material present in every cell of the human body. Except in the case of identical multiple births, each individual's DNA is unique. A child receives half of his or her genetic material from the biological mother and half from the biological father. DNA paternity testing is the use of DNA profiling to determine whether a man and a child or children are biologically related. DNA testing is currently the most advanced and accurate technology to determine paternity tests. Chidima Okafor reporting for Clearview Television.
Operatives of the Nigeria Police Force have arrested and paraded 8 suspects for kidnapping and killing Pa Defwan Darie, the father of a former Plateau State Governor Joshua Darie.
This incident happened in June 2020, and ever since then, particularly after the recovery of his body, which was a clear confirmation of his death, detectives from the Intelligence Response Unit and other police investigators have been churning around this case, working day and night to uncover this crime. This year, within the last 30 days, we've been able to make tremendous progress. And today, we have 8 of the key suspects that played major roles in the planning and execution of that particular crime.
After the 8 suspects, 5 others were also paraded, 3 for trading in ammunition, while the remaining 2 were paraded for cybercrime.
What they do is to simply use their social media handles, particularly Facebook, to identify gullible or vulnerable young girls, pretend to be in love with them, and initiate an online relationship with them. At the right time, they invite these young girls over, and once you visit them, they will violate you sexually. They will steal your phones or whatever accessories, jewelries, or whatever valuable accessory on you. And then they will hold you hostage until ransom is paid.
Clearview TV's Mercy Eke, who witnessed the parade, quoted Frank Mba as saying that the suspects who allegedly killed ex-governor Darie's father were all from the same place as the old man, and warned that most crimes are usually carried out by people who are close to the victims. Recall that Darie was kidnapped in June of 2020 in Mushere village in Bokos local government area of Plateau State, and nothing was heard about him again after 8 days. Darie was first abducted in 2015 and released after a ransom was paid by his family. It is no longer news that ex-while Nigeria's Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Sabo Nanono, has been relieved of his appointment and has since been replaced by Mohammed Abubakar. This development has been generating reactions from Nigerians, most especially the stakeholders. One of such stakeholders is the All Farmers Association of Nigeria, AFAN. Alhaji Kabir Ibrahim, who is the national president, spoke in an exclusive interview with Clearview TV's Imefong Okon.
Well, Afan is enjoining him to carry every stakeholder along. And he should also create the right kind of synergy with all participants in the agricultural space, i.e. the CBN, NALDA, the Ministry of Investment, Environment, Transportation, Aviation, the BOA, which is under him, which you should work towards capitalizing the bank so that you will have an institutional intervention.
The AFAN president also wants the new minister to ensure that right policies are put in place and properly monitored.
Since APP expired, the former minister has not done any policy. Right now, we don't have an agricultural policy. This minister should go along and make sure that there is a policy in place and it is implemented in the remaining days of the administration. There is no, you cannot have a somersault of policy within the same administration. What we are praying for is that after Buhari, whoever comes in should just build on what is there. What has been happening in this country is that when a government leaves, it leaves with its policies. So you have a different policy. But within the same administration, we will not expect a policy somersault. So the minister does not, there is no policy. The only policy that we are still building onto is the APP. And he should continue with the APP until a new policy come into place. And the new policy should simply build on the achievements of ATA and APP, so that you have a policy that is continuous, with the hope that the next administration that comes in after 2003 will also build on that. We have been around for a very long time, and AFAN is an institution. It's not personal. That's why we even advised the minister at that time that he would go and leave AFAN. Now he's gone and AFAN is there. So this administration, I believe, will carry us along.
Ibrahim has therefore called on his members to rally round the new minister and to always speak with one voice, as he foresees a robust relationship between the ministry and AFAN. Clearview TV's Imefan Okon was also on the streets of the nation's capital to get the reactions of the people who are already engaged in agenda setting for the new Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, Mohammed Abubakar.
There's this saying they say, no be me kill Jesus Christ.
Right.
No be you go feel repair Nigeria.
Very true.
No be my papa be president.
Very true.
You know, those things would not just make us do the right thing.
I promised myself I will not give up. I promised myself that no matter what it is, I'm going to still speak.
Jesus. Since where my husband died, nobody helped me. My husband family, they bowed on me.
Don't forget that the life we live every day is not just for us alone, but for others who cannot.
What inspired you to go into all these things that you're going into?
I see the way people with disability are being treated. I told myself that I'm going to change the life.
Where we stand in the health sector in Nigeria today.
It's actually a very sad situation. We really ought to do a lot better than this.
This is for you, from Let's Talk Charity, from us to you, to support your business.
41 prisoners have died after a fire swept through an overcrowded jail near Indonesia's capital, Jakarta. The blaze at Tangerang prison broke out this Wednesday when most of the inmates were asleep. Guards unlocked some cells but had to leave as the fire raged. There were 122 inmates staying in the worst affected Block C, far more than the 40 persons capacity. 2 foreign inmates from Portugal and South Africa are among the dead. Indonesia's Minister of Law and Human Rights, Yosona Lawli, told a press conference that the embassies of the respective countries had been informed. He said 8 people were seriously injured and dozens more had minor injuries. Television footage showed thick smoke billowing from the prison complex as the fire raged. It started at about 1:45 local time and was put out just over an hour later. The minister said that an electrical short circuit was thought to be the cause of the blaze, although this is still being investigated. The block mainly housed inmates held for drug-related offenses, terrorism, among others. Do remember to like us on Facebook, Clearview Television. Follow us on Twitter at Clearview Online. Follow us on Instagram at ClearviewTV_NG. And also remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Clearview TV. Thank you for watching. I am Nkiru Owuli.